Hi, I'm Mama Fontana and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to do a favorite, chili verde. So to begin with chili verde, I have my pot out here and I have my little burner, and we're going to start first with extra virgin olive oil. Kind of use a little bit of a generous amount because you have a lot of pork you're going to cook. I have went ahead and cut up the pork and we're going to get it put in here. You can hear the sizzle. It's December and it's actually snowing today, so it's really kind of fun to be making a nice warm meal, and a lot of people really love chili verde. It's one of those things that a lot of people think is delicious. So let's get this out of the way. I gotta rinse off my hands because that's kind of yucky. So we got this cooking. It's gonna take a few minutes, so we're gonna get this browned up a little bit, and then I'm gonna show you a few things of how you get it to get thickened and things like that. First, while it's cooking, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon each of salt and pepper just to get it in here so that you can start the process of having some flavor on your meat. It's almost Christmas time. Seems like December is flying by. I hope you guys are having a great December and have your Christmas shopping either started or you're finished. I'm this close, so close. Took my grandkids, most of them except for one, I have her done, but my oldest ones, I took them out shopping Friday night, and we shopped till we drop, and we had so much fun. It was really an awesome night. There's a lot of different peppers that we use in the chili verde, and everybody does it different. Some people just chop them up and put them in. I kind of like mine a little bit blended. So what I did is I have in my little bowl here, I have 2 cilantro bunches that I put in the blender. I've got 6 serranos, 4 pasilla peppers, and about 6 green chilies. Now, a lot of you will buy the green chilies in the fall, and if you go to different stores, they'll roast them for you and then you can put them in the freezer. I do that too. I happen to have ran out, doggone it. So I just used some from the grocery store, which I have put in the blender and used those. I also put 2 jalapenos. Now, depending on how hot you like it is going to depend how many of the jalapenos that you're going to want. So I put 2 in, and it will give it a little bit of a bite, but not too much that people will be going, oh my gosh, how are you doing? So we got this, pork is just cooking up. And as it starts to cook, I'm going to go ahead and add, I used a large yellow onion because I used quite a bit of pork. Normally you'll hear me say a medium onion, but I used a large one today because this is going to make quite a large batch. I'm making a large batch because not only does my family like it, but we're almost at Christmas time, and I have a few people that this is what I give them for Christmas. So if you make too much of something, like I do constantly, but I do it for a reason. And I've told you guys before, what I like to do is make, if you're gonna make, it takes no more time to make a little bit extra than it does to make a small batch. So I made chicken fettuccine yesterday for my brother and sister party that we had, and it turned out pretty good. Shout out to brothers and sisters. Hi guys, thanks for watching. And so I made plenty of that, so I have 3 containers of just the sauce. If you put the pasta in there, it seems like it gets a little bit too mushy. So I have just the sauce in 3 containers, and then I give that to some people for Christmas. The same with my chili verde. So I just will section this off into however many plastic containers and put it in the freezer. You can also put it in freezer bags, whatever you're comfortable with. And I will do the same with spaghetti sauce. And you know what? It's not too expensive to do that, and it actually even makes a pretty good neighbor gift, if you like your neighbors. So we're gonna get this meat all cooked up. Now I'm gonna start adding a little bit, this is lemon pepper, and anytime I use pork, for some reason I just think it tastes good. So I'm gonna put the lemon pepper in there and give that right onto the meat and get that stirred in. And then once we get this stirred in, there's a couple other things that we're gonna do. So, once you get the meat browned, we're gonna put some flour in there. And it takes quite a bit of flour. So you wanna make sure that all of the meat is covered after it's browned, and that's what actually is gonna be your thickening. So we're gonna get this all nice and browned up. I'm gonna give you a little shot of this. It looks pretty good. It's starting to cook up. Keep stirring it. You wanna make sure that it gets cooked on all sides. You notice I have a pretty good sized pan here. And then we're gonna add the flour to get it all covered so that we have it able to thicken. And then a lot of people use water. I don't. I use chicken broth. So it's a little bit more flavor in it, and it does the same purpose, you know, but it tastes better to me. And since I'm making it, that's what counts. So we're gonna start adding in some flour here. While this is cooking, I just wanted to tell you all, I hope you're having a great December, and to remember to subscribe and tell your friends. I have a lot of people that have started reaching out to me, which is great. Thank you all so much for doing that. By reaching out and subscribing and getting your friends to watch as well, that gives us more of an opportunity to keep going, and we want to be doing this as long as we can. And I really love that you're commenting. I love that you're telling me that you want to see certain things. And we have a lot on our plate that we're going to be doing through December, and then into the new year. We hope to have a lot of fun stuff. And you know, seasonal stuff makes a difference. So we've been going through the fall since we started. Now we're going to be going into winter, so you're going to see a few more things like that. And then all of a sudden it's going to be spring. So we'll have really fun stuff for the spring as well. Okay, so we're going to start adding some flour. We're going to just sprinkle it on. And as you go, you know, start with that much, which is about a half a cup. Get it stirred in, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all coated. You want to make sure that you get it pretty well. You're going to use quite a bit because, like I said, that turns into the thickening. So we're going to put a little bit more, another half a cup or so. And then once you get this done and we start adding all the ingredients, the rest of it pretty much it does by itself. So once you get this in and they're all coated, then we're going to start adding in some liquid. As you can see right now, it looks like it's pretty dry, but that's just from the coating. So at this point, it's still going to be cooking, but I'm going to add my chicken broth. So I want to add, what you're going to do is you're going to want to cover the meat. It doesn't have to be like way over, but you want to have it covered. And if you need to use water or a little bit of water, it's totally fine. Just depends on what you like. I just like chicken broth. Gives it a little extra flavor. Here we go, second one. All right, so there's your chicken broth. Give this a little stir. And then there's going to be some more ingredients. So like I said, right here are all my peppers and cilantro. So again, it was 2 bunches of cilantro, 2 jalapenos. There was about 6 serranos, 4 to 6 pasillos, and then as many green chilies as you like. I used about 6. And then I just cleaned them, put them in the blender, and then this is what we have. So we're gonna go ahead and get that added into here at this time. Be careful when you're cutting up your peppers. I made the mistake of, just this morning, I was cutting up the jalapenos, and then I was talking to the kids, and I touched my eye, and I'm like, oh, holy moly. Funny story about jalapenos. I make jalapeno jelly quite often because everybody likes it. They put it over the cream cheese and people just love it. Well, you have to use a lot of jalapenos. I probably cut up 30 or 40 of them and didn't even think about it the very first time I made it. And all of a sudden my hand started throbbing. And actually all of the oils and juices from the jalapenos, actually it took about 4 hours for my hands to quit throbbing. Now I keep plastic gloves underneath my sink just for that reason. I won't make that mistake ever again. All right, so there's the peppers. Now I'm going to add, oh, I forgot to tell you, also inside with the peppers, I forgot, I also like to do tomatillos. So I had about 5 or 6 tomatillos. I put them on the stove, boiled them, took everything off, and put those in the blender as well. So then I have 2 cans of stewed or diced tomatoes. And I like to buy them sometimes with either the Italian or the, they'll have green chilies and garlic in them. So you're gonna add that. And then about 2 tablespoons of cumin. I love cumin. I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it. And in this is just, it's gonna make all the difference in the world of what it's gonna taste like. So about 2 tablespoons of cumin. And then because of the extra delicious tomatillo flavor, I actually use a big bottle, doesn't matter the brand, of salsa verde, which it's almost all tomatillos and a few other delicious peppers. So I put the whole thing in there. And now that's all there is to it. So what we need to do now is we're gonna let it cook. The cooking process can take an hour or longer depending on how you want it, how tender you want your meat. This is something that you're gonna wanna make ahead. And honestly, it tastes better the next day. Even, I mean, it tastes great now, but it tastes even better the next day. So this is gonna take at least an hour to cook. So we're gonna go put it on the other big burner over there and let it cook for about an hour. And then we'll come back and we'll show you what it tastes like and what it looks like. See you in 60.
1 hour later.
Hi guys, we're back. Turned out delicious. Smells so good. It could be a little bit thicker, but that's probably just needs to be cooked maybe a little bit longer. I'm gonna have my husband come in and try it with me. Dave, come on in. This is my husband, Dave. So I think the best thing for us to do is probably dip tortillas so that we don't burn our little mouthpiece off. So Dave and I have been married for a really long time.
Really long.
And he loves every minute of it. Turned out good, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Don't you dare do that.
Oh, come on.
So, thanks, honey. It turned out really, really good. So it looks like we're gonna be eating good today. Also, pretty soon, it's gonna be my birthday. It's a big one. I'm a Sagittarius, 5 days before Christmas on the 20th. I'm gonna be 60. I know you can't tell I'm that old, not even for a minute. But I want you guys to keep subscribing, tell your friends. Remember, as always, I share the love of cooking with my family, and now I'm sharing it with you. We'll see you next time.